I think I'm on. Okay, all right, here we go. Welcome to Tuesday Tea Time with Dorarena tonight. I want to welcome our first time viewers and those that will be watching the replay. We are presented from Women of Wisdom. We are mentoring a nonprofit here to bridge the generational gap between the younger ladies and the more seasoned ladies so that we can pass on vital knowledge to one another and pass it on to the next generation. We empower with practical wisdom and building confidence. Okay, I've noticed that nowadays our ladies, our girls need confidence. And so that's very important that we help them and, well, that we ourselves walk in the confidence that we should have in our abilities to do the things that we are designed, let me put it like that, to do because we are a one of a kind designer babe. I got that one from Dr. Caroline Leaf. And so we are all different, but we all need each other. All right. Okay. So here we go. Let's get our topic up here tonight. Here we go. Increase. You know what? You know what I usually do? I usually introduce my tea, and let's definitely do that. Yes, here we go. Let's see. We got Cynthia Fitzgerald Lacey. So true. Yes. And so let's go ahead because it is true that we need each other. We need to pass on vital knowledge to one another and to the next generation. All right, here we go. Okay, so here's my cup. I decided to do my purple butterfly cup. I have my little steeping top on here to keep it cool. And you know what? Oh my goodness. I have to grab my honey. Okay, so this is where you show me a little love. All right, hold on. Okay, my sisters. All right, I had to grab my honey, and tonight I have my son's blacksmith honey. And if you want to find out more information about that, you can just look up blacksmith honey farms on Facebook. Yay. Yes, I'm a proud mama. Okay, plus I get honey. Okay, so the tea that I'm using tonight, now this tea, I normally don't do this tea at night because it is a black tea, but it's a blend tea. And I have, well, he's a African young man. I call myself his American mom. And he knows I like tea, so he bought me this bag of tea. It's called ginger peach. See that? So it's one of those bag teas. So I have my tea ball, and some of the girls they sometimes tease me about that because I have my little tea ball. They say, "Oh, you a serious tea drinker." Well, you know what? I like to learn, and I don't have a problem with trying new things. Okay, so tea time. That's good. Now listen. I hope that you have your beverage with you and that you fill your cup up with lots of wisdom tonight. As you can see, we're going to be talking about increase. And I was thinking about this, that, anytime there's increase, there's going to be increase of all kinds of things. Some people just don't like to see people increase. So I heard an old saying, it's as if you don't like getting burnt, don't be in the kitchen. I don't get all those right all the time, but so, but if you're going to live a life that's of increase, you're going to have the skin, like they say, the skin of an alligator sometimes. You just can't let everybody's thoughts and opinions to affect you. Do you know that when we do that, sometimes we will not go anywhere in life, because you will find that people that don't want much in life, they're not going to encourage you to want much in life. And if you have friends like that, when you start increasing, you do have to change the crowd that you hang around with. Me and my husband was talking about this, and he just loves researching people's lives, and we love hearing people's journeys and things like that. It's so interesting how everything just comes together, and just it's just interesting. And we were talking about people that are, well, they're wealthy people, and just kind of how they got that way, and what kind of lifestyle they live. And there's a trend, that kind of just goes across the board in some way. And they like to read. A lot of them like to read, but they read based off of what they are producing, or say the entrepreneurship is producing lotions and oils and things like that. They spend a lot of their time learning about those things and reading about them every day. And so if you're going to increase, you're going to have to be the type of person that is willing to gain knowledge, because knowledge is important, but applied knowledge is more important. Okay, so let's look at this. I have some stuff for you today to put up on the board. I have a quote, and we'll get to that in a moment. But the increase comes where wisdom is applied. And when we refuse to grow by listening, we are too stubborn to learn. Isn't that interesting? I mean, regardless to whatever have caused you to become that way, you still have to learn or unlearn the habits that have caused you to not want to listen. Now, you know what? I'm just going to tell you, I'm just going to say it, pride comes before a fall. And, a lot of times the reason why we don't want to listen is because our pride stands in the way of us listening. And, we don't want that person thinking that they can teach us something, or we think that that person, they're young, what do they know, how can I learn anything from them? Well, if you kind of unpeel that, there's pride in that, because we can learn from anybody and everything that comes our way. Have you ever even thought about some of those things come our way because they're trying to teach us something? And so it's very important that you increase with wisdom, because wisdom, I'm gonna say it, is the principal thing. Plus, riches comes with wisdom. Wisdom is almost like wisdom is like this magnet, and it just draws, increase to you, because that's who she is, Lady Wisdom. All right. And she will cause you to prosper and increase in life. I have my quote. I'll share that with you now. It says the improvement of understanding is for two ends. First, our own increase of knowledge. Come on. Secondly, to enable us to deliver that knowledge to others. All right, John Lockett. So, how can you deliver something to somebody else that you don't even want to receive? And how can you grow and increase if you're the type of person that always want to be given out? If you're giving out, something's got to come in. It comes in, it goes out. It comes in, it goes out. That's a principle that you cannot change, whether you want to be stubborn or not. So if you're going to grow and increase, you're going to have to learn to receive knowledge. And I have a son that, and me and my husband, sometimes we talk about this, because we'll give him some information or share some wisdom with him, and we already know that we got to let him take what we share with him and go think about it. Because once he thinks about it and evaluate what's being said, then he can come to the conclusion or the know-how of how to apply that knowledge that we've given him. But he usually has to think about it. And sometimes, it's not always pleasant to hear some things, but if you're open to learning and you are open to increase, you will allow yourself to be able to receive from different perspectives, so that you can take a moment and reflect upon those words and find out whether or not they can apply to your situation, or help you to think in a way that will cause increase in your life. Okay, that's just how life goes. Okay, let's move on. To achieve clarity, purpose, and a successful life, eliminate distractions and focus on what truly matters. Okay, so their distractions are designed to do what? That's elementary. To distract you, to get you off focus. And you're going to have situations like that. But you got to have your mind made up, and you got to uh, stay on the course and not allow people or things to distract you for what truly matters. Now, if you're going to increase in life, if you're ever going to become something of excellence, or if you're ever going to be successful, you got to stay focused on the things that matter. You cannot get caught up in even so and so said this or so and so said that, because so and so are always going to be saying something. And what they're saying is not always going to benefit your life. You cannot just give your ear to everything. Give your ear to what is going to cause you to increase, what's going to cause you to live up to your highest potential. I'm talking to somebody, okay? And it's okay if you have to say no, like we just talked about last week when we talked about your yes and your no. Set your boundaries. So you got to be careful about what you say yes to, what you say no to. And sometimes it doesn't matter who the person is, you can do that in a respectful manner. All right. Okay, every second you waste comparing your life to someone else is a second you could be using to create your own definition of success. Stop comparing and start defining your own success story. Okay, now that right there will help you stay on the right course and not get caught up in a bunch of hoopla, as they say. So, so that's very important, that you don't compare your way. Do you know that your journey, even if you are, say, like you're uh, pursuing the same career, you know what? It's still going to be different because you're different. And so, how you define success is going to be how it's going to work for you. And you don't have time to be distracted by everybody else's opinion. There is something that is innated in you that you were created to do, to be successful. Because whatever you add, you're not adding that for yourself, you're adding that so that other people can benefit off of what was created in you. And the increase blesses everybody. It doesn't just bless you. And you got to have that mindset that you're not all caught up in me. What is that? Me, myself, and something else. You know what I'm talking about. I just love laughing about it because I love laughing, and that's beneficial to you too. This is my last thing that I'm going to share with you. Increase. Now, listen to the definition of increase. All right. Here we got Marilyn Brown. All right, Marilyn, go girl. Listen to the definition of increase as a noun, an instant of growing and making greater. Okay. It's your destiny to increase in wisdom, but it will only happen based on your want to. Now, you know what? When we come back next week, we're going to talk about your want to. And that was a struggle that I had to walk through myself, was my want to. And so we're going to share that with you. So listen, increase is for you, not a bunch of increasing mess, because that's going to come. Now, I know I'm talking to somebody, I don't know who you are, but listen, when you start increasing, people are going to talk about you. That's just a part of life, okay? And you can't get caught up in what everybody else is saying. You need to make sure that your self-talk keep you on track, and that you know the things that you want to accomplish in life, and don't let everybody else say what they say enter into your thoughts. Let them roll off the back of your rolled off the back of a duck, like water rolls off the back of the duck. That ain't, my sayings, you got it. Okay. I still like, saying them anyway, but you got my point. Okay. So remember this: Dorarena loves you, and always, always walk in wisdom, my friend. I enjoyed sharing my time with you tonight, and I hope you enjoyed it as well. Apply the wisdom.